Have you ever stopped to think about how much money has passed through your hands in your entire life? Just think about it for a second. Every paycheck, every side hustle payment, every time you've spent cash or swiped your card, all that money flowed through your life. Over the years, that adds up to a huge amount. So here's the real question. Out of all that money, how much do you actually have left? Let's imagine you earned, say, $32,000 last year, and you're 30 years old. Maybe your first ever paycheck was a small one, like $80 when you were 17. If you were to add up every single dollar you've earned from that first paycheck until today, what would that number be? Maybe it's $300,000, maybe $500,000. It could be more or even less. But the crucial question remains, out of all that money, how much is actually left in your account? Chances are it's not something you've thought about much, but the answer can be a real eye-opener. It's wild to think that in just 1 year, the average person spends tens of thousands of dollars on essentials like food, housing, and transportation. Over a lifetime, that amounts to hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions. And that's before we even get to the non-essential stuff, the clothes, the entertainment, the vacations. So let me ask you this, are you genuinely happy with the amount of money you have left? If that answer makes you feel a little uneasy, it's probably because you haven't mastered the rules of money. But don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to share the 20 essential rules of money that will empower you to live a life of abundance. Another reason to stay in the Investor's Brief channel, if you're a visitor, please feel free to subscribe and like our video. You simply cannot get rich without mastering these principles. Stick around until the end, because learning them all could flip the coin and put you on the side of financial success. Let's dive into the very first rule, and it's a big one. Don't let anyone know you have money. In today's world, it often feels like your social status is tied to how much you earn. It's natural to want to share your successes, maybe even show off a little. But trust me on this, it's incredibly important that you keep your financial situation private. Why? Because the moment people find out you have money, their behavior towards you can change. Suddenly, you might find yourself getting hit up for favors or loans. Before you know it, you could be surrounded by people who see you as a walking ATM, always trying to get something from you. I'm speaking from experience here. Bragging about your wealth might give you a temporary ego boost, but the long-term cost just isn't worth it. And this goes beyond just flashing your possessions. When you constantly talk about your wealth, you're unintentionally sending a message that you see yourself as being above others. Sure, it might make you feel important for a moment, but it's not a great way to build genuine friendships. In fact, it's more likely to breed jealousy and resentment from those around you. True wealth isn't about showing off. It's about having the freedom and security to live life on your own terms. Keeping your finances to yourself is the first step toward achieving that. Now, let's move on to the second rule. So, what's the alternative to flashy displays of wealth? It's simple. Maintain humility and appreciate what you have without needing to show it off. Now let's move on to the next rule of money. If you don't master this one, you will never be truly rich. And that is, invest your time before you invest your money. So many people think you need money to make more money, but honestly, time is often your most valuable asset. Think about it. Investing time to learn about personal finance, different investment strategies, and how to budget properly can be incredibly profitable. It equips you to make smarter decisions with your money and helps you dodge those costly mistakes that can set you back years. Even for those who are already finance pros, dedicating time to research new investment opportunities can be the key to multiplying your assets. Of course, there are times when it makes sense to invest money instead of time, like hiring a professional for a job that would take you ages to learn or when timing is absolutely critical. But generally speaking, investing your time to learn before you throw your money into something you don't understand is always a wise decision. Before we jump to the next rule, if you're serious about learning more about personal finance, investments, and business, I've got you covered. I've put some links in the description below this video with books that I highly recommend. They will absolutely help you speed up your journey to making money and building real wealth. All right, With that out of the way, let's get to the next rule of money that you must master to become rich. And that is, money is a game. Seriously, think about it like a game. Games give players the chance to get better. The more you play, the more you learn, and the more you improve. Over time, even the most inexperienced player can become incredibly skilled at any game they practice. The same principle applies to money. It doesn't matter how bad you are with it right now, because the more you play, the more you engage with it, learn about it, and manage it, the better you will get. And just like any other game, money has its own set of rules. You have to learn them if you want any chance of winning. For example, in chess, a basic rule is you can only move one piece at a time. If you try to move two, you'll be penalized. It's that simple. Similarly, one of the most basic rules of money is that you have to save before you can spend or invest. If you get the order wrong, you'll always be behind. The best thing about treating money as a game is that it's a game you can learn. Just like chess or any other strategy game, once you understand the fundamentals, you can start developing your very own strategy to win. It's all about learning the rules and then figuring out how to play your best hand. Now for the next rule I have for you on your path to mastering money and living an abundant life. This one is crucial. Money will not solve your insecurities. I know you might not want to hear this, but when it comes to your deep-seated insecurities, money is not the cure. You might feel like you need that expensive car or that bigger house to finally be accepted or admired by others, but I promise you, it won't make you feel better about yourself on the inside. Why? Because money cannot buy self-esteem or genuine happiness. The truth is, if you're constantly comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're not good enough, no amount of money will ever change that feeling. The only way to truly overcome your insecurities is to work on them directly. That means accepting yourself for who you are, flaws and all, and learning to love yourself. Otherwise, you'll just be trapped in an endless cycle of chasing material possessions that will never, ever make you truly happy. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Comment below if you agree that money can't buy self-esteem or happiness, and please share any insights you have on this topic. Your experience might just help someone else who's watching. If you don't master this next rule of money, you'll never get rich. And that rule is, money is a game. Why is it a game? Because no matter how much you save or how wisely you invest, there's always more to win and more to lose. So forget this idea that you can just completely check out one day. Sure, you can automate some tasks and cut back your hours, but this game never really ends. If you don't believe me, just look at the richest people in the world. They keep working, even when they don't have to. The good news is, money doesn't have to be a source of stress. If you approach it with the right mindset, it can actually be fun. Think of it as a challenge to conquer, not an enemy to defeat. Moving on to the next rule you must master to become rich. The more you learn, the more you earn. In today's world, it's more important than ever to learn valuable skills. The economy is tough, jobs are scarce, and the competition is fierce. But it's not just about learning for the sake of learning. You need to learn things that will genuinely benefit you. The great news is there are tons of ways to learn valuable skills without spending a fortune. For example, there are countless free courses online that can teach you everything from basic coding to complex topics like web design, business, accounting, or finance. You can also find amazing books online like The Richest Man in Babylon or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Remember this, on your journey through life, every experience is a chance to grow and expand your knowledge. The more you learn, the more you can earn, and the more you can offer the world. By the way, if you're enjoying these money rules so far and want more videos like this, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really lets me know you're getting value from this. Okay, the next money rule is, become friends with people who are making money. If you want to make money, it's a smart idea to hang out with people who already know how to do it. It's just how things work. When you're surrounded by people who know how to generate wealth, it's more likely you'll learn from them and start making money yourself. Of course, it's not always that simple. You can't just walk up to a wealthy person and expect them to take you under their wing. But if you make an effort to connect with people who have experience and success in the financial world, you'll dramatically increase your chances of reaching your own goals. So, don't be afraid to network and connect with people who seem to know what they're doing with money. It could be the first step on your own path to financial success. You will never be rich if you don't master this next rule of money, which is, the greatest creations of wealth occur during crises. Now, that might sound counterintuitive, but history shows us it's true. When the economy is in turmoil and everyone is panicking, that's when incredible opportunities emerge. Think about it. During a downturn, assets become cheaper, competition might thin out, and new problems arise that need innovative solutions. People who stay calm, keep their eyes open, and are prepared to act can make moves that set them up for life. While others are selling in fear, the smart investor is buying. While businesses are closing, the savvy entrepreneur is spotting a new gap in the market. It's not about taking advantage of misfortune, it's about seeing opportunity where others only see chaos. The key is to be financially prepared before a crisis hits, so you have the resources to seize these once-in-a-generation chances. Mastering this mindset is absolutely critical to building massive wealth. Want to save more money? The first step might surprise you. Study your politicians. It seems strange, but their financial proposals directly impact your wallet. Don't just vote based on party affiliation. Dig into their plans. Is their philosophy to heavily tax their constituents? You need to know that before you cast your vote. Don't get swayed by empty promises. Take the time to understand their financial policies. This knowledge prepares you for any economic shifts and can save you a fortune in the long run. You'll never be rich if you don't master this next rule. Wealth accumulates over time. It doesn't happen overnight. Just like you can't grow a giant oak tree in a day, you can't build massive wealth instantly. It takes patience and consistency. Look at Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors ever. He started at age 11 buying his first shares for just $38. Today, he's worth over $160.2 billion. Imagine if you had started investing just $100 when he did. Thanks to the power of compound interest, you'd be sitting on a serious pile of cash today, likely over $1 million if you'd reinvested your dividends. The lesson? Start investing as soon as you can, be patient, and let compounding do its magic. Here's another crucial rule. Don't let your money get bored. Money is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens and atrophies. Think about it. If you have $100 in a savings account in 10 years, you'll still have $100. But due to inflation and rising costs, it will be worth much, much less. Now, what if you had invested that same $100 into a business or the stock market? In 10 years, you could have a significant return on your investment. So, what's the takeaway? Keep an emergency fund for rainy days, but put the rest of your money to work. Make it grow and fight off inflation. Finally, and this is a big one, focus on your own finances. Stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone's journey is different. Concentrate on your goals, your budget, and your progress. That's the real path to financial success. What are some other money rules you live by? Share them in the comments below. Let's all learn together. Your best friend just pulled up in a brand new car. It's sleek, it's beautiful. And let's be honest, you feel that little pang of jealousy. Your own car has seen better days, and you've been driving it for years. It's tempting to start comparing, right? But hold that thought. That age-old financial advice, don't compare yourself to others, is golden for a reason. Comparing your financial life to someone else's is a recipe for disaster. It can lead to impulsive bad decisions and make you obsess over things you can't afford. Just because someone else is spending their money a certain way doesn't mean you have to. Instead of looking at what they're doing, turn the focus back on yourself. What are your financial goals? What steps will help you achieve them? That's what truly matters. You'll never get rich if you do not master this first rule of money. Money is neutral. Some people say money is the root of all evil, but that's just not true. Money itself isn't good or bad, it's a tool. It's how people use it that gives it a moral value. Money doesn't change a person, It just amplifies who they already are. If someone is kind and generous, money will allow them to do even more good. On the flip side, if someone is selfish and greedy, money will only make those traits worse. Remember, money is an object. The person wielding it determines its impact. Here's another rule you absolutely must master. Money flows towards those who know how to handle it. There's a saying, if you want to have money, create things for which people want to give you money. It's so true. Money naturally moves from those who don't know how to manage it to those who do. For example, imagine you create an app that saves people time and money. They'll gladly pay for it because it adds value to their lives. If you want money to flow in your direction, focus on creating value that people are happy to pay for. And finally, you'll never become rich if you ignore this crucial rule. When it comes to saving, start small. Take Chris Reining, an investor who retired as a millionaire at just 37. His secret? Smart saving habits. His advice is simple: start little by little. You've probably heard this before, but it's powerful. He recommends cutting small, regular expenses, like that daily $5 coffee. It might not seem like much, but those small savings add up to a fortune over time. Why do so many people fail when they try to save money? It's because they make drastic changes all at once, get overwhelmed, and then just give up. That's why small, consistent changes are the real secret. They might not seem like a big deal, but they add up massively over time. Once you master the art of trimming those small, everyday expenses, you'll find that making bigger financial moves isn't so scary after all. Now let's talk about the next crucial money rule: self-control. We often think personal finance is all about math, interest rates, investment analysis, budgets, and yeah, those things matter, but they're not the most important part. The real key is controlling your emotions. If you can keep a level head, you can make smart decisions with your money. Think about it. When you're scared, you might panic and sell all your stocks during a market dip, locking in your losses. When you're greedy, you might jump on an overvalued stock just because everyone else is, setting yourself up for a fall. As the saying goes, our inability to control our emotions is the root of most of our problems. It's not just about making more money, it's about managing what you have, and that starts with managing yourself. The next rule is the absolute golden rule of finance. Spend less than you earn. It sounds so obvious, right? But you'd be surprised how many people don't follow it. They get tempted by the allure of money and end up spending more than they actually make. So why does this happen? Well, for one, people fall into the trap of thinking they can always earn more later to cover their current spending. But life doesn't always work out that way. The second reason is emotional spending. You see something you want, and you buy it on impulse, without even thinking if you can afford it. This is a dangerous habit that leads straight to debt and financial stress. Now, there's no magic formula here. If you're struggling to make ends meet, the priority is probably to increase your income. But if you're already earning a decent amount and want to build wealth, cutting your spending is the way to go. You'll never get rich if you don't master this next rule. Learn to do something that few people can. In our mass-produced world, it's easy to forget that rarity equals value. When you have a skill that's in high demand but low supply, you become more valuable and indispensable. What kind of skills are we talking about? The options are endless. Consider learning to code, becoming an expert in a specific software like Excel, or mastering a new language. These skills can open up incredible opportunities. Don't underestimate the power of learning something new. It could be the key that unlocks the next level in your career and your financial life. So, if this video has helped you, take a moment to think. Which of these money rules are you already crushing, and which ones need a little work? Start making those small adjustments today, because while being rich is a state of mind, it can also become your reality. By following these principles, you're putting yourself on the direct path to building real wealth. If you found this useful, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.